Tonight, a new champion was crowned in college hoops. We debate which Wildcat should go to the NBA, and there's a new sheriff in town, and by sheriff, I mean rugby coach. All this and more coming up on Dorman Sports Chat. Glad to have you on board with us live from our studio in the University of Arizona Park Student Union. I'm your host, Joey Putrelo, and I am joined once again by Go AZ Cats reporters Danny Passavoy and Evyn Murray. Back in October, college basketball season commenced with all teams eager to begin their push towards the big dance. And then there were two. We were left with a pair of teams no one expected to go as far as they did. 7th-seeded Connecticut and 8th-seeded Kentucky faced off in the final round of the NCAA basketball tournament, and it was a title game to remember as the Huskies won their second in 4 years by a final score of 60-54. UConn stalwart Shabazz Napier earned his second ring in fashion with 22 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and as many steals. As for the Wildcats, James Young was their top scorer with 20 points to go along with 7 rebounds. It was a hard-fought battle from both parties, but Connecticut was the winning team of both halves. Evyn, are you surprised by the results of tonight's games?
Absolutely not. I thought both teams had a great chance of winning this. I personally like Kentucky for it a little bit better just because you really felt their momentum. Not that UConn obviously didn't have momentum either, but it just felt like Kentucky really grew up in this tournament. But that is also how they lost the game, I think. It was pretty much, to me, it was UConn's maturity and their quickness that won them the game versus UK's athleticism and what would you call that? Size. Yeah. So.
I mean, I think you can break it down to specifically two things that really won UConn this game. One, free throw shooting. They went 10 of 10 from the free throw strike. That's how you win games. 2, defense. They held a way oversized Kentucky. UConn's not that great of a rebounding team, let's just face it. They held Kentucky to 54 points. That's a great game from an undersized UConn squad. That's why they won the game. Charity strike, you got to make those, and we saw it the entire tournament. The teams that made the free throws when it mattered won. UConn went 10 of 10. Great defense. Easy win.
Well, Kentucky's starting 5 were all freshmen, and while on the other side, the Huskies lineup, they featured 4 upperclassmen and a sophomore. That was their youngest guy. The two squads relied mostly on their starters throughout the game as both benches combined for only 10, that's right, just 10 total points. So, Danny, do you think the reason the Huskies pulled through in the end was because of how much more experience they had?
I believe so, and I've always been a person that says the veteran team with the veteran voice on the court is going to be the team that wins the game, and that's just it. Shabazz Napier's been there before, won a championship in his first time around, won it in his last. It's a guy who's been there, and he wasn't the guy when they won the first championship, but now he's back with the chance to lead his team. And look who he has beside him in the backcourt, Boatwright. Mm-hmm. These are two of the best guards in basketball who have been there before. That extra little thing, the extra veteran leader, the one who says, no, you need to be here. I've been here before. No, you need to go down there so this guy can come around. That's what wins these games, especially late in the tournament. I've never been a fan of the one-and-done deal. I think more of a 2-year platform works a little bit better. But veterans win games, and that's what happened here.
Yeah, I mean, just for example, John Calipari said it himself. Why they said that they were down at halftime, they're 18 years old. Julius Randle didn't have a very good game, so I think that kind of plays into it. And, man, Boatwright, he was a serious factor in this game to me. Obviously, Shabazz Napier, unstoppable, 22 points. Great game for him, but Boatwright also, I mean, had that going for him as well.
Well, the win tonight gave UConn its 4th national championship, and so we say so long until next season for men's college hoops. Next, we're talking more college basketball because we know you want us to. Which Cats are NBA ready? Danny and Evyn will tell us next. You are watching Dorman Sports Chat on UATV Channel 3.
Hi, it's David Hasselhoff, the Hawk. Get Hawk with UATV. Stay tuned. Don't change the dial.
Welcome back to DRSC. I'm Joey Putrelo alongside Go AZ Cats reporters Danny Passavoy and Evyn Murray. Since the Arizona men's basketball season concluded a couple weeks ago, a pressing issue nationally has been which Wildcats should stay for another season and which are ready to declare for the NBA draft. Among those getting the biggest buzz are freshman forwards Aaron Gordon and Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, along with junior guard Nick Johnson. If all three decided to leave Arizona for the draft, Aaron Gordon would likely be the highest pick of the trio because of his 6'9", 225-pound frame and rebounding ability. Gordon is considered the best NBA talent the UA has, but Evyn, his shooting from the field and foul line have been a concern all season long. So if Gordon declares for the draft, how high in the first round do you think he'll go?
I mean, I think he's going to go top 10, and I say is going to go top 10 because he's going to, I mean, you can almost guarantee this guy's going to the draft. I don't think those things, that's not why they're drafting him. That's not why they wanted to draft him in the first place. They're going to draft him off pure athleticism, and unfortunately that's just how it works because you can't teach that. You can teach a guy to shoot, you can teach a guy to dribble, and, you know, Aaron Gordon actually can dribble. So I think Aaron Gordon is definitely leaving. I don't think it's going to be a huge factor that he, frankly, can't really shoot, but he's going. So, top 10.
I mean, look at Blake Griffin when he came out of Oklahoma. He couldn't dribble. He couldn't shoot.
Great comparison, too, by the way.
But I mean, I hate to make that comparison, but Blake Griffin is an athletic player, and that's why he was drafted. Didn't he go number 1 overall? That's why he was drafted so high off pure athleticism. Aaron Gordon is Blake Griffin. He just hasn't developed that
just
shot
not
yet.
As big.
But look at Blake Griffin's outside shot now, his mid-range shot. He's great, and that happened over the last, year or two after being in the league for 4 years now? This is a guy who's going to develop, and this is a guy that every NBA team wants to take a chance on. Obviously, you can't pick him ahead of like the top guys like Wiggins, but this is a guy whose pure talent and athleticism alone can just dominate ball games, especially late in his career. I think there's no chance he stays. Easy top 10 pick.
No chance. The only thing I have, as far as, I don't see him going up against the big guys in the NBA right now. I feel like, mind-wise, though, it's not his athletic ability to me, but he seems a little weak-minded to me. And I don't know if it's just the way he reacts to certain things in press conferences. He's always very on guard with the things people say about him. He gets kind of butthurt if you talk about his shot. You know, like things like that is what I notice in press conferences. So it's just, I think he's a little weak-minded. I think he's young. That's all. But I mean,
think about
I'm being honest
here.
He's
I
understand
a freshman
that.
in college.
No, I understand that.
But,
that's what I'm saying. Can you see him playing in the NBA right now? Just like because I
see him being very good in the NBA for this alone. I think maybe not his rookie year, but I see Aaron Gordon being a great NBA player.
Better than Derek Williams.
Yes, absolutely better than Derek Williams. He's stronger. He's smaller than Derek Williams, but he's way stronger. When Aaron Gordon is driving the lane, there was not a single player who can stop him. None.
All right.
And the NBA is a different story, but he's only going to get stronger.
You should have seen his face when I said he was weak-minded.
He's only going to get stronger. I mean, he's a freshman. What do you
I understand that, and I'm not arguing that point, but it's just it will be interesting to see him in the NBA with that mentality.
He's going to get stronger. He's going to develop a better post move, and his shot's going to get better. So by the time he gets to the NBA and he's working with NBA coaches, he's going to be a real talent.
All right, well, while they have a pretty good chance of being drafted, many have said Johnson and Hollis-Jefferson would not benefit from leaving Arizona as much as Gordon would. Now, Johnson was Pac-12 Player of the Year, and he led the Wildcats in scoring with about 16 points per game. He was also an all-conference defender. So, Danny, why should Johnson stay for his senior campaign?
You know, I think he should stay. I don't think he's going to, though.
But why should he?
Why should he? Because he's the type of player that needs more time to develop. He's not as consistent as he needs to be an NBA player. Is he? I mean, he drops off every year during Pac-12 play.
Catch 22 here. He's not going to be that good of an NBA player.
No, I don't.
Period.
I don't think.
First off, he's going to get drafted late second round. Projections have been that if he even stays another year, it's not going to get that much better. I mean, to me, and some people disagree, he's at almost his highest ceiling that I feel like he's going to get. Obviously, he's been more consistent this year than the previous 2 years because that's not hard to do. But Nick Johnson is not going to get that much better, and he already won Pac-12 Player of the Year. He didn't carry this team by any means, but he helped this team out. He was definitely one of the X factors to this team. I don't think it's going to what else do you want to see out of Nick Johnson? More consistency?
The draft class. The draft class next year is going to be weaker. He stays another year. He
So
has
he's
a,
gonna
he
get
has
a-
a definite chance of moving to the top of the second round. That's way more money than the last
Right,
pick
it's
or
more-
last couple picks
you're thinking of a
in the second
guaranteed-
round.
I mean,
That's just what it is. More money, people stay for that. And Nick Johnson, that might not be on his mind. It might be.
It's
You never
not.
know.
From what
Either
I've
way,
heard-
his ceiling might not be as high, but he can definitely move up in the second round and maybe squeeze into the first round, which means way more guaranteed money for him. I think he should stay, play out his senior year, get the whole Jordan Mays goodbye, the whole shebang. He's been here 4 years, whatever. They have a chance to make a great run next year with the team that they have. Why not stay? Try and improve your draft stock.
We're saying hypothetically, you're saying all these things. Nick Johnson is not staying. There's no way Nick Johnson's staying for this next year. Sources
We'll
say.
see. We'll see.
So as far as I'm concerned, Nick Johnson isn't staying. Rondé Hollis Jefferson, from what I've heard, is 50-50.
All right, well, the NBA draft is closer than you think, ladies and gentlemen. On June 26th, the 2014 class will be selected to the association. A new era is upon us in Arizona rugby this season. Head coach Sean Duffy joins us live when we come back to Dorm Room Sports Chat on UATV Channel 3.
I'm Derek Williams, the former U of A Wildcat. You're watching UATV. Don't change the channel.
The life I lead is the life of a dog. I may have fleas, but I run a yard. I see those clones looking down on me, but unlike those clones, this dog is free. Oh Lord, it's a dog's life. Oh Lord, it's a dog's life, dog's life. Oh Lord, it's a dog's life.
Over the past summer, just before the 2013 fall semester, a Tucson legend and former Arizona rugby head coach Dave Sitton passed away. The late and great Sitton was replaced by Sean Duffy, who previously worked for St. Joseph's, USA Rugby, and the Keystone Rugby Conference. Duffy started his rugby journey 10 years ago at Gonzaga College High School in Washington, D.C., and after he played for St. Joseph's. Now he has the Wildcats ranked at number 14, and we are lucky enough to have him in the studio with us tonight. Coach Duffy, how you doing?
Oh, great. Thanks for having me.
You are just coming over from the McHale Center, right? And you had some film session. How did that go?
Absolutely. It was great. We're reviewing our film session from our win over Notre Dame this past weekend. We were at Notre Dame in their brand new facility. It's a match for the Era Parsegian Research Foundation, so we raised over $40,000 for the foundation, which was great. We got the W, and we got to see the Notre Dame football stadium as well and meet Coach Era, so it was pretty
Really?
Cool. Yeah.
That's cool. Well, before we dive into talk about the season, I want to know what it's like to be the guy who's filling these enormous shoes of Dave Sitton, and tell us about that. Did you know a lot about him before you took the job?
So Dave and me got to know each other a little bit near the end of his life. Dave was a mentor to me when it came to dealing with college rugby and both the coaching aspect but also the management aspect of really making a good impact on young people's lives. And you know, when I got the call that David passed, it was shocking to me. And when I got the call that they were interested in potentially bringing on a full-time coach here, and it really was an opportunity of a lifetime, and I'm honored to be here. You know, the family has been so welcoming. The daughters were here last week for our 45th anniversary.
Sure.
The Arizona Wildcat Rugby family, the alumni, the players, the university have really all bought in. Greg Byrne, Myra Marston White have been so welcoming, so it's a dream job.
Excellent. Well, there are 13 seniors and as many juniors on this team with 26 total upperclassmen. How has the veteran presence helped your transition into becoming the head coach?
It's been great. You know, we really have good captains, good leadership. Trevor Lowy is our senior captain, going to the U.S. military next year.
We had him on the show earlier. Yeah.
Great guy, and you know, he's been really helpful. And we started a player leadership council. A lot of those older guys have been on that, really helping me, you know, really get to know this team. And you know, with those guys, it's double-edged sword because you know those guys are great, and now they're going to go off in the real world in a couple months here. So we are working up a storm when it comes to recruiting. You know, we're really working hard. We're up to 6 commits so far.
Wow.
Got a few more visits this coming week. So what's been great is to see the interest in the student athletes, prospective student athletes here. coming from all over the world. So UK, South Africa, New Zealand, and all over the United States. So it's been really exciting.
Very good. Well, you have been more than a coach throughout your rugby career. You were the commissioner of the Keystone Rugby Conference and brokered its first ever television contract. In 4 years, you brought over 50 student athletes to come play for St. Joseph's, and you've also helped rugby development as a rugby development officer for USA Rugby. So your resume shows you have a knack for many different skills to make a successful program. It's only year one for you, but where do you see the Wildcats rugby team in the next 3 or 4 years?
So our goal is a national championship. Our goal is to be promoted to Division 1A. Right now we're in Division 1 and Division 1 AA.
Okay.
We are in a really good spot this year to contend for a national championship at that, which in my first year is really exciting. And then the goal is to win a national championship in both 15s and 7s. So we're going to be playing in the Collegiate Rugby Championships in 7s on NBC this coming summer, May 31st and June 1st, out in Philadelphia, which will be great. And our goal is to win a national championship, have a strong GPA for our kids, and have our kids be active in the community. Because this is a great university with a great athletic department, and we're just happy to be a part of it and happy to bear down.
All right, well, now I'm going to fire 5 statements of which you must fill in the blank with your most honest answer. So you ready?
Cool. I'm ready.
All right. The hardest hitter on the team is?
Trevor Lowy.
All right. The fastest player on the team is?
Anthony Spencer.
Okay. The best part about beating ASU this season was?
The handshake after the game.
I like that answer. And your favorite part about Tucson is?
Not being in 30-degree weather back east.
Same here, same here. The main reason to come to an Arizona rugby match is?
Scoring, and more scoring.
All right. Well, that's it. Coach, it's been fun, and we appreciate you taking the time out of your evening to join us. Danny and Evyn are back after these messages for a quick game of 30 seconds. You're watching Dorm Room Sports Chat on UATV Channel 3.
Hi, it's David Hasselhoff, the Hawk. Get Hawk with UATV. Stay tuned. Don't change the dial.
Time to cap this episode of DRSC off with a quick game of 30 seconds, where Danny, Evyn, and I each have a half minute to voice any particular topic we want in sports. Evyn, you're leading off. Go ahead.
I have to talk about Drake. Drake is a little basketball groupie. He starts off with Toronto Raptors, obviously, because he's from Toronto. Miami Heat, you always see them with those boys. He's wearing a Texas A&M jersey, just had a song about Johnny Manziel, and then was in Kentucky things, and then you see him at the end of the game, he literally had on a UConn shirt. What is going on? Pick your team, dude. But regardless, I gotta mention too, it's crazy. UConn has more championships than Kansas basketball. That's sad to me. Rock chalk. Next year.
Well, I just wanted to say something about Drake with the UConn shirt. He always says that he started from the bottom, but we always know he's always been at the top. He's always been there.
You can't go with the Drake lyrics right now. It's just
since his days on Degrassi, he's always been at the top.
I guess you're right.
Hey, he was in a wheelchair on Degrassi. He was basically as low as you can get.
No pun intended there.
No pun intended. All right, I like
Peanuts.
it. On that note, Danny, you're
That's
going.
my one joke of the day. So, let's talk about the greatest tattoo in tattoo history. Did anyone see the guy who got the Kentucky
there we go.
pulled
There
it up.
it is.
The 2014 national champion Kentucky tattoo. That happened during the SEC tournament. That guy picked Kentucky. They're an 8th seed. He almost cashed out on that tattoo. If he did, everyone would have given him mad props.
What's he changing it to?
Stupid tattoo, but mad props for picking it. Too bad it didn't really work out anymore, huh?
I'm really just wondering what he's going to change it to, how you alter that tattoo to make it.
I think you just cut off next year and just make that a 6 and hope for a 2016
Hey,
Kentucky
they got Justice
national
Winslow,
championship.
they got Julia Okafor, they're going to be loaded next year, so it could be possible.
I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, the best part about that for him is that every season Kentucky's got a shot to
Yeah,
win.
they're always a
So
contender.
You can always edit that. All right, I guess I'll close this out. And, it's sad that college basketball is over, of course, but now we're diving into the thick of some other sports. We have the NBA getting closer to the playoff race. We have the NHL getting closer to the Stanley Cup playoffs. And now Major League Baseball season has officially kicked off. So that's going to be incredible as well. The Boston Red Sox defending their World Series title, the St. Louis Cardinals trying to get back to it as well. This is an exciting time for sports, and just because college basketball season is gone, we should still be thankful for the rest of the sports that we have.
I wholeheartedly agree.
I don't. No.
Yeah, Evan's not the biggest baseball fan, but that's okay. That's
fine.
it. That's it for this episode of DRSC. We'd like to thank you for tuning in and hope you will again next Monday. Any part of this episode or previous shows you may have missed can be watched on our YouTube channel, UATV CH3. So for our analysts, Danny Passavoy and Evyn Murray, along with our production crew and executive board, I'm Joey Putrelo, cordially wishing you a wonderful good night. You are watching Dorman Sports Chat on UATV Channel 3.